Good morning, everyone. This is Kendall Askins from Stimulating Minds. Askins stimulates on all of the social media platforms, joining you another day with another gem to drop. And today we're going to be talking about limitless possibilities. And I'm specifically going to be targeting limitless possibilities in your child. So we all have heard the saying, sky's the limit, and we've all probably used that. And there's always been, as we got older, usually more adulthood, where there's a big emphasis on not letting somebody limit you. And it usually comes when we are doing self-growth, or when we're in a stage where we're learning about ourselves and we're learning how to break through restrictions or break through norms that society has placed on us in terms of making our dreams become a reality. But have you ever stopped to think, like, where do those restrictions really come from and where do they start? And today, I want to share this with you just to give you something to think about. Often those people, some of the first people to place limits on us are our parents, right? And a lot of us are parents. So we have to be reflective on what limits we are placing on our children. And if we want our children to believe that they have limitless possibilities, we have to reframe our thinking and how we are behaving with our children in order to remove the limits. So I'll give you an example. I see so many parents. I interact, again, having 4 children, involved in a lot of different things. I interact with parents constantly, right? Even with my work, I'm just constantly around parents, and my children range in ages from 5 to 14. So I'm around parents of all ages, from teenagers all the way down to 5-year-olds, right? And then everything in between. And I often see parents operate, especially when children are even up to, I would say, maybe 12 years old. They operate as if the children are not capable to do certain things. So I see them doing a lot of things for them. How many parents do you know that clean their children's rooms, or clean up after their kids, right? Or help their kids get dressed to a certain capacity, or even think about, like, how you think about your children, right? So for example, if you expect your child to behave differently, let's say when you take them out to eat. I know that there's a lot of parents that are scared or won't take children out to eat, or out in public places that are not built around children, because they feel like the kids can't handle it, right? And all of these things are examples of putting limits on your children, because what you're teaching them is that there's an expectation for them to behave a particular way, or that they can't do something, right? And I know this might sound a little extreme for some, or some might think, but they're kids. And I want you to challenge your thinking today, because when you think like that, then what you're doing is you're creating a space where they will show up a particular way. So when you're trying to remove limits, you're shifting your mindset from things that you think they can't do, that they're not able to do, with understanding a mindset that they can do it, and it may require a little support, right? But that you're going to push the boundary. So I want to encourage you, when you're when you're creating a space where it's limitless possibilities, you are approaching from the mindset that your child can do anything, right? Even if it seems impossible, they can do anything. And then you're providing the support along the way. I'll give another example. When you have a toddler or even a baby and they're learning to walk, right? You have the parent, I was the parent who just let them go for it. And if they fell down, it was okay, right? I didn't rush over to them, because if you ever notice, when a child falls, they look to the parent for how they should react. So there are times when your child will fall and they'll look to you to see if you respond, with surprise, if you respond like in a way that tells them, oh, I should be crying right now, or I'm supposed to think that something hurts, and then that sends a signal to their brain to respond a certain way. When you respond calmly and you just look, you'll see that your child will maybe they'll start to go to cry, and then they'll be like, oh, I'm okay, and they'll switch the emotion because they're looking for you for the response. So when your child is learning to walk, right, this is just an example, we're teaching them the resilience in that moment, right? Are we teaching them like, oh man, mommy or daddy has to come and save you because you weren't successful and you fell down? Or are we teaching them like, it's okay that you fell down, you can get back up and keep going, and you can do that yourself? And then there's the in-between where we see, okay, do I need to just help them get back up? So I need to show them that it's okay, and reassure them with my words. That's support, right? But how am I presenting and how am I showing them that they can do it? And so I want you to keep this in mind as your child goes through any stage of life. What are you thinking in your mind? Is there anything you're saying that they cannot do? And usually when you're saying that they cannot do something, you're setting a limit on them. You want to shift your words and your thoughts to they can do. They may just need some support, or let me see how far they can go, and then I will help. Another way that you can do that, like my daughter, my 10-year-old, she gets herself very frustrated easily, and she'll tell me, Mom, I can't do this. And I'm constantly letting her know you can do it. And so what I'll say to her is, what is your question? And she'll pause and she'll say, I don't know. I don't have a question. Well, then that means you can do it, right? And so when you're beginning to shift your mind, then you're seeking where your child feels that they need assistance, right? And by asking them, what is your question, or where are you getting stuck, it forces them to have to think through their process. So again, with Limitless Possibilities, reframe your thinking into the point of, my child can do all of this. My child can do anything, but I might have to support them, right? And then also make sure that you're finding out from your child where they feel they need the support. What is your question? How can I help? But letting them know that they are going to be required to show up a particular way. So let's hear some ways that you are beginning to remove limits off of your child. Drop those down in the chat. If you like this video, please make sure you like, subscribe, share out our channels, and I will see you back here next week for more fun. Bye.